So hey guys, and welcome to a video that's been requested oh so many times. My favorite loadouts in Warframe. Now the loadouts won't be in any particular order, this is just 6 loadouts that I really like, and if I've already made a build video, whether it is for a Warframe or for a weapon, there will be an annotation on the screen, you can click it and it will take you to that video. And let's start it off with number 1. Chroma, Heck, Telosok Bolto and Dragon Nakana. And I like to use this loadout for the toughest missions in the game. With Cold Chroma, face tanking is not that big of a deal, so that's awesome when you combine it with Heg, which is really high burst damage up close, and then complement it with something like Telosok Bolto, which is really good sustained damage at range. And finally, the Dragon Nakana, a personal favorite of mine. I love the way it looks, I love the way it feels, and it does a ton of damage. So I absolutely love this loadout. 5 out of 5 bananas all day, every day. And in at number 2, we have Frost, Amprex, and Sonic Ore. Now, I'm not going to talk about the melee weapon because I use all different kinds of melee weapons on this loadout. I mean, how can you not like Frost? He's amazing at defending static objectives like cryopods, excavators, and terminals. Basically, if it doesn't move and you have to defend it, you should have a snow globe on it. And the combination of Amprex and the Ragdoll Cannon is really good for these types of missions as well, because you will be going up against waves and waves of enemies that are trying to break your thing, and both Amprex and the Ragdoll Cannon, aka Sonic Ore, are really good at dealing with waves and waves of enemies. Plus, both weapons are really fun to use, so that's a nice plus as well. In at number 3, we have Rhino. Just Rhino, nothing else. Now, even though Rhino is a fun frame on its own, especially after update 18, he's amazing at not giving a shit. And that's exactly what I want when I want to try out a new weapon. So for me, Rhino is more of a weapon tester on top of being a really fun frame as well. So every time I get a new weapon, I will put it on Rhino, I will jump into a mission, put on Iron Skin, and I don't have to worry about knockdown, slash procs, poison, or damage taken. I can run around and see if I like the weapon or not. And even if it's a weapon that I've had for a very long time, sometimes I just want to have fun with the weapon rather than the frame. And let's be honest, every now and then derping around and not giving a shit is really fun. So Rhino does not give a shit. 10 out of 10. And in at number 4, we have Vauban, Tonkor, Sonic Ore, and once again, the Dragon Nakana. I love engineering classes in MMOs. Period. So when I first saw Mike B's spotlight on Vauban, I was like, yep, gotta get me some of that. So I immediately bought Platinum and I bought Vauban. I still remember farming ODD with Penta. That was so much fun. I loved doing that. Now, unfortunately, with the addition of Infested Ancients and the Mutalist Moas, Vauban lost a lot of his usefulness versus the Infested, because they just ignore your abilities. But it's now coming back, Vauban's coming back with the new Infested Excavation, and I love it because Vauban is a really fun frame. Now, the reason why I'm using Tonkor is because I use Vauban for very high-level infested excavations. So I need a really strong weapon that will take care of a huge group of enemies that are above level 70-ish. And since Tonkor is the strongest weapon I have in my arsenal, it makes sense to put it on this loadout. Now, Sonic Ore is there to complement the Tonkor. It doesn't do as much damage, but it has really good crowd control. And sometimes it's really easy to miss with the Tonkor, and if you have infested swarming your excavator, you need to get them away from it because they will kill it in seconds. So I will switch to the Sonic Ore and I will ragdoll them away from it. And Dragon Nakana, the same old, my favorite melee weapon, yada yada yada. And in at number 5, we have the Stalker, so Ash, Dread, Despair, and Broken War. And this is more of a fun solo loadout that I like to use every now and then. Ash looks amazing. In my opinion, Ash is the best looking Warframe in the damn game, and he complements my favorite weapon really well, the Dread. It's so much fun to use the Dread, I absolutely love it, but unfortunately it's not very useful in the current game modes where you have tons and tons of enemies coming at you at the same time. Bows are just not very good at dealing with that. And Despair and Broken War are there just for the swag, okay? I don't use them at all. And finally, number 1. Of course, it's Nekros. Of course. My favorite frame in the entire damn game. So Nekros, Tigris, Axamati, and once again, Dragon Nakana. And I know, what a surprise, the farming guy likes the farming frame. That's not it, actually. I really like all the different abilities. Fusro Punch is awesome because it complements short-range weapons. It's just really good. Terrify is an amazing crowd control skill. Desecrate, Resource multiplication is always good, especially in a farm-heavy game like Warframe, and Shadows of the Dead can be an amazing ability if you think about it. If you pick off the strongest enemies before activating it, you're gonna have a seriously powerful army on your side. Now, there are a few different reasons why I chose these particular weapons, but the most important one is that they're slash-based. When you kill an enemy with a slash-based weapon, you have a chance of cutting off their body parts, which you can then desecrate separately and get even more resources out of a single enemy. Now, the reason why I chose the Tigris rather than something like Soma Prime or Bratton Prime or even the Dread is because, in my opinion, Tigris works better with Nekros. You have very high burst damage up close with the Tigris, and if you need to kill something that's really far away, you can simply Fusro punch it. And the Axamati are there because I really like bullet hose secondaries, especially when I'm carrying something like the Tigris for primary. When I'm going up against the Corpus or the Corrupted, I don't like going inside the nullifier bubble, so I can pop them really fast with the Axamati. And you know, Dragon Arcana, once again, favorite weapon, it's also slash-based, blah 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 blah. And that's pretty much it for the loadouts. Now, I'll be doing another giveaway tomorrow, and the way it's gonna work is at 5 p.m. CET, I'll be hiding in one of the Tenno relays. I'm not gonna tell you which relay it is or where I'm hiding. You have to find me. And the first 3 people that find me in-game in one of the relays will get a life strike. And as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.